go. We're live, just so everyone knows.
Wilhelm.
Wilhelm's getting adjusted.
Yeah.
Still a little quiet.
Nope, that is not better.
Still very
No.
quiet.
Very same.
Yeah, really quiet.
Yeah.
We definitely want to hear you too.
Oh yeah.
No worries, no worries. Well, I was gonna say while he's getting that worked out, we're live. Welcome once again to the Cairne Legacy, the Lost Caverns of Nether's Deep, episode 2. The continuing saga of the crew of the Orti down beneath the forgotten depths, underneath the wastes, hopefully seeking an exit to the open, ephemeral sea. Hopefully. So, I know last session we had a lot of opportunities for character development more than anything, although Captain Listener has been helming the ship. Would you like to continue that process like we had last time there, Listener, or do you want to change it up somehow?
Hey, I'm fine with it, you know? It's pretty solid. We'll have to hand off control of the Orti at some point, because Listener's got some downtime activities to conduct.
Yeah, that's no problem at all.
Rear Admiral says aye
Yeah.
I know when we left off, specifically, you guys had just come into an opening and seen the very edge of what appeared to be bone.
Yes.
Something large. And that's kind of where we left off. A little bit of a cliffhanger there. So, unless anyone has any questions, concerns, we'll pick up from there.
All good.
All right, let's carry on then. So, as the Orti rounds the bend, Listener, you are still at the helm. Genesis is up there with you.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, your light did expose what appears to be a long string of bone ahead. Based upon your understanding of the instrumentation before you, some of the gauges are going a little wild right now. It appears that you are picking up speed. Unintentionally.
Are we angling downwards? Are we sloping?
No, you're heading, and for sake of ease, I'll say northeast, southwest, up, down, right, left. You know that you are headed, like it is pulling you, actually, kind of in an easterly path, like you're caught in a current.
Okay. I think trying to engine brake on this thing might have disastrous consequences, given that it's steam powered.
You don't want water to back up.
No, not really. We're just gonna have to ride it out.
All right, you gonna let it take you?
I suppose so.
All right. Everybody below decks, you can feel the momentum kind of jerk and pick up a little bit. Boom. It's starting to it's starting to kind of shake the ship a bit. So you guys can all kind of feel it rumble and rock a bit. Down below the lower decks, Uki, you had taken over furnace duties, I believe. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. You can definitely. The engines are not straining as much as they normally would. It sounds like something else is moving you. The moon pool is sloshing about. You can actually see some of the water like splash around, which you're going to want to avoid Jeff's not too worried. All right, so yeah, go ahead and move yourself a tick west there.
I did.
All right. So, the light continues to illuminate some type of large skeletal structure. All of you who have access to windows at this point will be able to see this. As you begin to round the curve, and the current is going to skate you right along the edge of the wall. There's a chance it may throw you into it. You're not really sure because you can't see the direct bend of it from here, but it is a concern on your mind.
Yeah.
The bone beneath you actually moves slightly as you move into the chamber.
Aha! I was a little suspicious about that sort of thing happening. How easy is it to pull a U-boat in this thing?
I think you've lost your spiritual buddy, haven't you, at this point?
Oh, yeah, he's no longer attached.
Yeah.
He may still be around. He can talk to me, but he's not possessing me.
Okay. It's you've never seen it done before. Your knowledge of engineering on a craft like this is limited, of course. To a degree. I mean, you've garnered a lot of information, but it was not built for this.
No, not at all. First mate.
Aye?
I do believe those, he points, might be teeth.
Ooh.
Oh my.
What are we gonna do?
I will say this.
Can we turn away from it?
I'm going to give you a little bit of a peace of mind here.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody who wants to, who's looking out those windows, anybody who wants to, give me a medicine check.
You can have one of mine. I'm definitely looking.
All right.
I think Saoirse would have looked out the window at this point, feeling the rumble.
Okay. And it is rumbling.
Rip.
Okay. Listeners, Latra. All right.
Is-
Genesis.
Everyone?
Anybody who wants to, who has a window access, who might be looking.
Wrong name.
Oh, now
Sorry.
I'm soaking at the fire.
Okay. That's all good. In that case, let's see. So the carrier in. Oof. Carrier's busy. So no, listener Slatra and Genesis, you guys are looking out. You can definitely tell this is some type of vertebrae.
Ah, much better.
It's definitely not a jaw. Just to set your mind at ease.
That's even more confusing as to the motion, yeah.
Yes, it's moving, like sliding the same direction you're going.
Ah, different kind of concern.
Does anybody else see that?
I suspect this is a form of whirlpool, so I'm going to try and angle slightly against it and pretty much just stick around. See if we can make one rotation and get back out.
All right. Now you are aimed at the wall right now, right?
I did point it that way. I assume the current is pulling us in the direction that the vertebra would be sliding, which is southwards.
More or less, but you are still angling a bit towards the wall, like you're probably going to give it a kiss here in a minute.
Just a little bit, not into it, but I will be observing the gauges and judging our motion to try and compensate for the inward pull.
All right. All right. So on your next turn, we're going to do some rolls. So let me know when when your alarm hits.
I'm very excited.
Is anybody else doing anything at this point?
Yeah,
Hang around,
Sasha's
trying to
make
see
her way
what's
to the
going on.
galley.
Okay. What? Slatra, what was that?
Slatcha's just gonna make her way to the galley here.
All right, it's making your way to the galley. And Genesis, what are you doing?
I'm looking around, trying to see what's going on, trying to see if there's a way to tell what this is, if it's a threat, what the next move is.
You can infer that while we're piloting, you're as close to in the thought stream as you're gonna get. You're getting the constant stream from listener of everything he's thinking.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
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 Yeah.
Yes.
Welcome.
Okay, something's up with my headphones, so I had to switch to a different system.
You are much improved.
Thank you. I would like to roll a medical check if I still could. I'm trying to get into roll 20 right now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Take it. Well, they figured out what I was
Oh.
aiming at. You can, if you want to try and determine more information. You
Yes, to acquire more strength.
if anyone.
All right, so my timer has gone off, and I'm going to pause time here for a moment while I accommodate your rolls.
Okay.
One of the Phoenix is missing.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, wait, no, it isn't.
You,
There's 4.
you scared me. I was like, did I kill a phoenix and not say anything?
No.
See, okay, so this is what usually happens, okay? This. So I can select the row of 6 and move myself with the Phoenix. So seeing that gap there alarmed me slightly because I am accustomed to seeing them in a configuration.
When you put your wallet in a different pocket, and then you pat the original pocket and you freak out.
Or your car keys, or your house keys,
I can relate to this.
or your driver's license,
There's a reason I no longer use my bag of holding for my purse.
or your debit cards.
Everything. Church, what do I need to roll you?
All right, is it time?
It's time.
All right, so we're gonna make 2 checks here. All right.
Mhm.
First off, Dex. I know it's not your best.
Oh!
We can go ahead and get the band-aid ripped off early here.
Yep, that's exciting. Here we go. There you are.
All right. So the wheel is slipping out of your hand. You're having a hard time. It's because it's actively pulling against you. So you're fumbling it a bit at this point. I'm gonna give you one more roll. I'm gonna give you a strength roll to try and
Okay,
just
I can do a little
manhandle
better.
the thing.
Do I know?
Can I
this?
call Genesis's assistance?
Can I help?
If you see him fumbling and you want to try, yeah, I'll give
I
an
summon
advantage.
the first mate.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, go for it.
What do I need to do?
Well,
Alright.
you're just gonna give him advantage on this next roll.
Grab on the wheel. We must control the vessel.
You can do it.
18. Okay.
Much
So-
Yay.
So yeah, you fumble it. Genesis looks over and sees you fumbling it, and reaches out, and the two of you grab hold of the thing, and you just manhandle it. So rather than careening into the wall, you're just smack it, kind of graze alongside it. This is where we're gonna get into is a rough one.
Mhm.
1, 2. Okay. We're okay. This window,
Okay.
this dome, because the first one hits it and just crack, you see bricks, not bricks, but stone break off the wall, like chunks of limestone and slate.
Mhm.
And then this one hits, and it hits harder, like because the first one broke it and then kind of jarred the whole thing into the wall. This dome has a crack in it. It's not leaking at this point, but it is cracked. You managed to kind of force it away from the wall at that point, though. So
Is the current still pulling us?
it is still pulling you. In fact, the speed is continuing to pick up a bit.
I mean, I'm
Okay,
pretty
so
sure
at this
Kaz will have
point-
come out the.
Um,
Sorry. we'll come out that room at the midpoint and see if like anyone needs any help or
Of course.
anything.
Yeah, I was about to say, at this point, Saoirse's going to glance worriedly at Kaz and Wilhelm, because that was their window that cracked.
Yes, it was. Listener,
Yes.
you and Genesis up there. Now, granted, you're focused, kind of, I imagine. But you are aware of this bone structure that you can see here.
Yeah. What's up with that?
It is also moving slightly.
Which way?
This bone is moving kind of westward. The three
Okay.
sprawling out from it are expanding and contracting towards one another a bit. If you want,
that is alive, kind of.
yeah, if you want, give me one more medicine check. You two in particular.
Love to.
Here we go. Fingers crossed.
21, nice, and a 20, very nice.
Good.
So, if two telepathic people could psychically look at one another with wide-eyed expressions of shock in their minds, that's what you guys are doing right now. It just dawned on you. This is a wing. This is a skeletal wing beneath your craft right now, kind of moving slowly.
We're gonna find out about that U-boat.
Are you gonna try and pull against the current?
Yes, Genesis, I think we're probably in this together.
Yep.
Yeah, spin that around right there.
Try not to be absolutely terrified. Spin, spin, spin.
All right, so we're gonna try and force it. What's everybody else doing? Anything? Here, I'm gonna just see if I can't. Nope. Actually, I'm gonna move that up a little.
So, I'm attempting to cook something in the galley.
All right, in the midst of all this.
Yeah, I'm busying myself. I don't even want to know.
Oh yeah, and it's fine. It's probably comforting at this point. I will say
It is.
things are rumbling about. Luckily, the galley is built for rumbling about a bit. So yeah,
Uki is continuing to stoke the fire because her focus is like kind of like Dory. Just keep swimming. So if she keeps focusing on just shoveling into it, she can focus on that and not think about the fact she's inside the damn submersible.
probably good idea. Probably good idea.
We are going to need all of that steam.
One thing I would recommend,
Mhm.
listener,
Yes.
somebody may want to communicate to Uki what's going on. If you're going to try and pull a Yui, it's going to take a substantial boost of power.
I could do that. There's the intercom system, right?
Yeah, the tube system's still functional.
Yeah, there we go.
I go over to the tube system, and I go like, okay, we're turning around.
What?
Yeah.
So whatever that means, get ready.
So keep in mind,
Suggest that another join Uki on the shoveling.
yeah, I was gonna say, keep in mind
Yeah.
that this tube system goes to the whole ship. It's not directed necessarily to Uki.
We're gonna need
Yeah.
someone.
Kaz is gonna make his way downstairs to help out Uki.
All right,
Wilhelm will as well. He will also go to assist.
all right. Go ahead and move your tokens down to that, or I can if you need me to.
Yeah,
Saoirse's
Church, you
going
might need to
down
move
just
mine
because
separately.
she is like terrified.
All right.
She doesn't want to be alone right now.
So, those of you down here on the lower deck, The ship is rumbling now. The moon pool is sloshing. Toxic water is splashing into the floor. So we're gonna have an additional challenge. The coal bin is here where Uki's standing. It's gonna need to be like a coal bin or a basically a wheelbarrows full is gonna need to be brought back every so often. Especially with multiple people doing this, there's a chance that you might get splashed coming to and from that area. So we need to decide who's going to do that, because that's who we're going to be rolling for to see if they get injured. It's not a
I'll
high
do
chance. It's not. All right. You sure?
Yeah. If it's dangerous, of course I will volunteer for it. Better I get injured than anyone else.
No, worse actually, but you don't agree with that.
All
I
right.
don't at all. Yes.
If I were down there, I'd be juggling the coal into the wheelbarrow from across the room. But
So, Wilhelm, let's go ahead and get your first one out of the way then, okay? And then we'll start the maneuver. Give me just a dex roll. It's not a ridiculous DC or anything. Yeah, you're fine.
Oh.
You managed to avoid it. Yeah. I'm not going out of my way to kill you guys, I promise. All right, so yeah, you guys are all pumping coal, loading the cart, pumping coal. The furnace flares, the thing creaks and shudders. You can feel steam, just jets coming off of it. It's straining against the seams, the boiler is. The ship begins to shudder. The phoenix begin to yelp and howl upstairs in fear. And you two still working in tandem on the wheel?
Yep. Would you like a roll?
Yeah, this is straight force that you guys are gonna try and pull this maneuver off. So yes, advantage strength save or strength.
Shall do. Okay.
Excellent. All right, you managed to cut it 45 degrees. You're still caught in the current, but you're starting to turn.
Excitement. Good.
So we're not quite full Yui. There you go. This is progress. This is good.
Yes, that is degrees measurable.
So as you begin to turn, the wing moves a little bit more, and you can see the entire skeletal structure beneath you begin to kind of shudder and pull itself from the limestone beneath you. As it does, you see many smaller figures in the murky, muddy depths below begin to skitter and move across the bed. And you hear the muffled sound of something guttural growling under the water.
I have a question for you, Church. I may come to regret it soon.
Yeah, of course.
I'm a spiritualist.
Yes.
Is there a spiritual presence
Yes.
here in these bones? Tell me about it.
It's still inhabiting the bones. It appears to be something definitely reptilian. Large reptilian.
Yes.
Winged.
Large reptiles with wings. I'm not sure the Ogham have ever seen things like that, but I've read a lot of books. Shall I roll a nature, history? I'm not sure which would really be more appropriate.
I'm going to give you this basic one on legend alone. This is a creature that needs no introduction. You can roll to try and pull details, although you're looking at a spectral form, so it's a little more difficult.
Sure, I'll roll for that. What? I love details.
Oh yeah, go for it.
No idea.
Well, he's seeing the
roll a
spiritual.
one.
Okay.
If you roll a 1, it's actually Draken.
Yeah.
Oh.
How did he get
rip.
here? Well, what you want? You want nature, arcana, history? What are we up to?
Dealer's choice. What you got?
I'll take history.
All right.
I have good numbers.
26. Excellent.
Yes.
So you reach back through the collective. Of course, the speed of thought, as usual. The chittering, like they are just on fire right now. Like, oh, this is so exciting for them.
For them, yes, of course.
Which, ironically, you get a little pang of individuality in this moment, I think.
There is a kind of... There's an awkward feeling saying, they're very excited that this appendage will probably die to a Dracolich.
Yes. So, since you chose history,
Yes.
and in ancient history, pre-blight history, you are aware that at one time there had been a den of two ancient and very well-known black dragons that had hatched a clutch here.
Wow.
Ancient times. They ravaged countrysides as dragons do, but for the most part, once they formed their clutch and they kind of went quiet, and then the blight fell and they were never heard from again. You're wondering if this is somehow associated.
I pull harder at the wheel.
Is it time? Have we hit the point?
Oh yeah. We're 2 minutes. I've gotten quiet on it just to
Oh yeah, no, you're
do some
good.
time dilation and hear all the lovely descriptions.
All good. Yeah, give me another strength. Yeah.
Here we go.
You can do it.
Hey.
Nice,
Hey, nice.
nice. All right, so that's gonna put you guys here. There you go. Perfect. So now you guys, looking out, you can see there seems to be some type of central vortex, a point in the floor that's just pulling the waters down in a vortex, and that's what you were apparently caught in. The skeletal form, of course, more of it's being revealed. It's starting to move even more. Lots of little scurrying shapes across the ocean floor. Listener,
Yeah.
you can hear spirits normally, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you hear a spiritual voice from out in the depths and the dark. A guttural, low, growling voice. And it reaches your spectral ears. And all you hear is the word help.
Question. Sorry.
Yes.
I can hear them too, to some extent, from my time in the city in the inn at first, right? If they're loud enough?
In certain cases, yeah. If it's a psychic impression, you can.
Is this a case of that?
No, this is actually speaking.
Okay, then I'll just go back to helping with the wheel then. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. Down below. Let's see who's down here. Kaz. Good. I'm glad you're down there. Kaz, the furnace is straining. Like you're gonna start popping bolts off the boiler soon. Like you are pushing this thing well beyond its limits, and you can tell based upon your knowledge of running a forge. Like the metal is starting to glow. But you guys are doing good. You're punching it as hard as you can. Just you know the risks of overdoing it with a furnace.
I'm glad I never chose a Scottish accent for this. Because I know exactly what I'd be tempted to say.
Choice words. Choice words, definitely.
Yeah.
The captain would like to know if you're giving it all you've got.
I just don't have the power. Yeah,
You can
so
might be able to
yeah,
go a little faster.
You've got a little double to you there, Kaz. You got some echo, or is that just me?
Oh, I didn't hear it.
I heard it.
Did you? Okay.
Oh,
I
wait.
don't.
I've forgotten something.
It's all good. So, listener, what are you doing with that information? Anything?
That the furnace is about to blow?
No, the voice.
Oh, the voice?
Yeah.
It is a
that should have solved
problem to be addressed once we are no longer being pulled into the very same vortex.
This is true.
I do not respond immediately,
Okay.
although I am somewhat concerned that this creature is... well, if it died in the Blight, obviously it wouldn't have gone anywhere, but, that's still a little unusual. Still hauling on it, you know.
Yeah, alright. So we're still pushing. Alright, we still turning?
Yes.
Alright. Well, let's go ahead and do it. Let's do our next roll. Excellent. You guys,
Beautiful.
that will get you here. And a little bit more of a turn. There you go.
Love it. How is the effect of the current on the ship now?
You're still straining really hard against it. In fact, I'm about to roll for the furnace here. Okay, the furnace is holding. The girl's tough.
Built like a tank.
Alright, so Slatra, are you still cooking?
Definitely cooking.
Alright. You'll notice that the floor beneath you is getting hot. Not enough to burn you, but the kitchen's getting sweaty. Levels of heat coming from the floor below you. Those of you who are down there, like, you're sweating. Like, it is raging hot down here now. Just because of the heat being put off by the furnace itself. Wilhelm, give me another dex. As you deliver another load of coal. Okay. No, that's fine. And Kaz, you're on the furnace. Uki, you're tending the coal bin. Saoirse, what are you doing exactly?
I'm just sort of chilling down there because Saoirse doesn't want to be alone right now.
Okay. Saoirse, and see, Wilhelm's. Yeah, Saoirse and Uki in particular, give me perception checks, please. Okay.
You said do perception for me
Please.
as well?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Excellent. So, as Wilhelm narrowly dodges a big splash coming out of the moon pool with the cart, he's running, whoa, kind of slams it down over there, and Kaz and Wilhelm immediately begin just shoveling coal into the belly of the furnace. Saoirse and Uki, you guys are just kind of watching, like, look at that man go. What a lovely man he is. You both notice Jeff suddenly just, like, rears back, like, hunches his back, and kind of, if a lizard had hackles, his hackles would be up. And past him, over the edge of the moon roof, where it's broken, the moon pool, you see this ichor-covered, black, claw-like hand reach up, shakily, and grab the side.
Oh, heck no.
God damn it.
Yellow. Uki said perhaps we should cover that up. Board it up.
Kaz, Wilhelm, there's something coming out of the moon pool.
I'm on it. Alright, I'm yanking my warhammer off, and I'm just gonna smash the crap out of that hand.
All right.
I take over shoveling so that
Okay.
he can go deal with it.
All right. So, show me where you're going specifically, Kaz.
Okay, so
Can you?
looking.
Are you able to get in there yet, or do you need me to move you?
I am. I'm on the roll 20 now, so I can actually move it.
Okay, good. Good.
So that's good news, at least. Okay, so where's the hand coming out exactly?
Right here.
And yeah, I'm gonna head next to Jeff.
All right. So you run over by Jeff. Give me a dex check to avoid splashing.
Oh dear. Okay. All right. No, it's not awful.
It's not a high DC. Yeah, you're fine. You deftly avoid getting wet. All right. Now give me a perception check as you look down into the water. Okay. So you kind of mount the edge of the moon pool here, you know, hammer at the ready. You're getting ready to just smash this clawed hand that's just gripping the side. And you look down into the water and you see this gaunt, blackened, ichor-covered face with these enormous squared teeth that just fill up half of its head, and two green glowing specks where its eyes should be. It has no nose, no features other than that, but you can see it, these teeth just kind of slowly chomping again and again, and another hand reaching up. But what's worse than that is you see numerous little green glowing specks behind it. Much like its eyes.
Fish from before?
No, these are humanoid.
Oh, great.
You can tell there's many more behind it.
Yeah, I'm gonna call that Telelusic. There's a lot of these buggers down here, and I think they all want to come in.
Do we have a net? Can we just drop a weighted net?
I mean, there's a chance there's one here. There are fishing supplies upstairs.
Well, I'll tell you what. You go try and find a net. I'm gonna keep smacking them down as much as I can. And if anyone wants to help me do that, that'd be great.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Go ahead and make your first swing. Roll to hit, please.
Alrighty. So sweet.
Wait, so is Kaz at the furnace now, or
No, Wilhelm. Wilhelm's at the furnace. Yeah.
Wilhelm first. Okay.
All right. So Kaz, yeah, you smack this thing very hard.
Apparently for maximum damage.
Yeah. You crush the hand entirely, which immediately lets go, and you see the creature like kind of fall back, get caught in the current, and just whisked away. But almost as soon as it gets whisked away, you see two more claws come up out of the water. One where he was, and another one over here.
We're gonna need a bit more than just me on this. I yell out.
All right.
Okay, shoot the bloody bejesus out of him, will you?
All right then. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm there now as well.
All right.
So I'm gonna. So how many are there at this moment in regards to?
There's two coming out, but you can actually look down and see many more of those little green glowing eyes in the water.
So can I actually, because of my extra attack and such, can I actually have how many do I essentially have a pistol in each hand and take a shot at two of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
There'll be a slight penalty for the second shot, but yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and fire a pistol at one of them.
All right. Uh-oh.
Oh my god.
Don't tell me it just misfired.
Oh no.
It just misfired.
It just misfired.
Okay, then for the second one to fire, this would be at a disadvantage or normal roll.
It'd just be a -2.
Okay, so I'm gonna hit this. Okay, so it would be that -2.
All right.
That's much better.
Were you firing at the closer or the further?
A closer one.
Okay. So yeah, you blow the hand off at the wrist with your second shot. I'm gonna let you roll for the misfire. Give me a percentage roll, please.
Okay. That's D100.
Yes, please.
All right, 38.
Okay, it just jammed.
Okay.
Just a jam. No worries, you didn't blow up or anything. So we're good there. Listener, Genesis,
Yes.
let's go ahead and give you guys your next move as this is going on down below. Give your strength checks.
Yeah. Still holding out.
Still holding. So move ahead 1 square, your choice at this point.
There we go.
1 more and you will be more or less out of the
current.
Yeah. As you move out here, the tail you see slip, like almost out of view, like it slips into the darkness. It's moving quicker now. Let's go back downstairs at this point. Slatra, any change for you before I do?
I mean, the ship's kind of rumbling around, right?
Oh yeah, it's rocking.
Yeah. So she's just gonna lean into the tube system in the galley and be like, "Oi, we try to keep it a little more stable in here.
Nice.
We're losing carrots to the floor."
Oh, you're carrots. I don't say that into the intercom system because I know better, but
Yeah.
I just mumble it to myself. Carrots. Freaking Drake
That's hilarious.
Carrots.
All right. So down below, anybody doing anything in particular?
I'm continuing this.
Smacking.
Just continuing to smack away. All right. I will give you each an attack. You and Uki. More hands are coming up every moment.
I'll start at Built Upon Rubble.
All right. Excellent.
I'm gonna just keep shoveling coal and keeping the fire going.
Excellent. Solid hit.
Built upon is that's an advantage.
Advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, advantage to hit. Okay. Excellent. So both hits, same target, closer.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So that's no problem. These things are, you seem to be blowing them and smashing them apart really, like they're not tanking damage very well. There are a lot of numbers. So I guess it's a 50-50 good and bad. The Orti, you feel it just beginning to pick up speed The engines are straining a little bit less.
Mm.
And then suddenly
And
yeah, in the moon pool, you see a clawed skeletal hand come up through the water and grab a whole handful of these things and just yank them away. Kaz and Uki, give me a dex save real quick, because it causes a big splash as it does this. Okay.
I think I missed some of that. Okay.
You'll be needing a dexterity save.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Uki, you take a good chunk of water from the splash. It scalds you. Like, it's so toxic, it actually just chemical burns you where it lands. 7 points of damage. It hurts really bad. You've probably felt this before based upon where you live. The Hyverstedian settlements are pretty close to the coastline.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't change how awful it is, but you're going to want to step back and pull any saturated clothing off.
All right. She strips down to her skivvies. She's used to being in, in the barracks with male and female, and
Yeah. Oh yeah, and some of these people have seen this happen in a much more extreme way before. Is anyone doing anything as Uki steps back and begins removing her saturated clothes?
I'm still going to be smack full hands. That's pretty much it.
You actually don't see any now. This whatever came up through the water grabbed them and yanked them away.
Nice.
Anybody?
Well, if necessary, then I'll help Uki out.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah, no, that's no problem. And with that, you guys pull out of the current.
At last.
So yeah, you're
Ease off the engines to slow down.
All right, crew. Looks like we're clear.
Gonna coast maybe another tile or two and then take a little break.
All right. Yeah, you can go ahead and move the additional tile. You're back in control.
Oh, sure.
And then we'll resume. I will say in the distance, you still hear that voice. It's a little weaker, but you hear it. It's saying, "Please, come back."
Listener will think about that one and probably discuss it with the party.
Please, come back.
He has grown cautious very recently about opening conversations up with tremendously powerful beings.
This is fair. This is very, very fair. All right. So yeah, you've pulled ahead. The furnaces, you can ease off and just let it cool a bit. Uki, you're going to want to get tended to.
Yeah. Can someone take over so I can check Uki out?
Yeah, sure. Kaz will take over. No problem, mate.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Uki, would you prefer to do this here or somewhere privately?
I am at this point. Speed is probably important. I'd rather. I have no issues with privacy. What do we need to do?
While I'm checking her over, then I will assume a poultice would be the appropriate tool for this job.
Poultice will work just fine.
So,
Okay. As you're getting treated, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Give me a 10-sider, if you would, please.
Okay.
All right. So, the splash caught you across your abdomen. That's where the main bulk of the damage is.
Okay.
You're gonna have some scarring there, no matter what Wilhelm does. If you want to make a note of it on your sheet or whatever, it's up to you. It's really more of a flavor thing than anything.
Yeah, got it.
But it will leave some scarring there, some slight discoloration. You can go ahead and roll for your healing, Wilhelm.
alrighty.
I will say Wilhelm and Saoirse, you're having flashbacks of Sugnak.
I am prepared this time.
Mm.
Yeah, Saoirse is just a little bit panic struck at this moment. Like she's just speechless.
Closer.
I'm just gonna do the extra +2 from botany for this one.
Of course, no worries.
I'm not gonna use any of my special stuff at the moment.
Okay. Well, that'll be what? How much total?
5.
Okay. So yeah, he the poultice he puts on it leaches the toxins out very quickly, healing you for 5 points of damage. The pain is relieved.
Uki just turns to the party and goes, guys, there's a reason I said we should board up the moon pool. Just remember this next time. But
That's fair.
Out of character with what though?
Oh yeah.
I
You
mean,
just
do
sit.
we have lumber?
Just sit Jeff on top
well,
of it.
there's a bunch of different things. I mean, there's a lot of things that we brought on board and across this. We probably could have, I mean, there was the little boats and stuff. So maybe, just maybe, we might want to close it up now. But not me. I'm gonna go rest again.
Is,
I mean, I can actually ask that question because I'm not down there. I don't know what's going on, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
No,
mean,
there's ways that you could.
I was
Uki's like,
always in favor of covering up the moon pool. I just don't have any engineering skill.
I mean, covering it up probably wouldn't be a good idea, but maybe fixing the cage a little might be the way to go.
That is a definitive possibility. I don't know if you can tell, but right here on the second floor, these are blacksmith anvils.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Uki's gonna go take a rest, and what I mean by that is Uki's going inside going up to the second floor, just to get inside and to maybe get a little bit of go up and drink some water or something, downstairs.
Yeah, that's perfectly all right.
You can use the beds in the med bay.
Yeah, I'll go to the med bay.
All right.
Bring the Phoenix to come and soothe me. Lick my wounds, little ant.
to debride the area.
I will check on you in a little bit.
All right. So, Kaz, you're back on the forge. Is that right?
I will, yes.
Okay.
And whenever we can get some time, I'm going to attempt to see if I can find enough metal that might be able to repair the grate, kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Whatever.
We could probably make that happen. Yes.
Well,
Cool. Also, guys, I need to run. I've got a little bit of an emergency going on. So I need to run. I might be back soon, hopefully.
It's all good. Real life
I'll
first.
let you know. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Sorry, guys.
No
I will
worries.
speak to you soon.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Yeah, all good, fam.
Bye.
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 Okay,
All right. So we'll just keep Kaz on the forge for now. Wilhelm, what are you doing?
I'm gonna check the area and see if I can safely push any pools of water back towards the moon pool, so that there isn't large acidic water sitting on the floor if possible.
Oh, the water is actually set to drain
Okay.
through grates in the moon pool. There's a slight slope to the floor, so it all drains back out.
Alright. Do I find anything left over? Like, are there any fingers or?
Ironically,
stuff I need
ironically, no, you do not.
to- Okay.
Anybody else? We're at free action, so.
I think it's
I
time
breathe
to
a
come
sigh of
downstairs.
relief.
Okay. Listeners coming downstairs.
Saoirse's going back upstairs now and is just going to sit on the couch.
I
Okay.
take over at the helm if he's leaving and just,
All right.
I say to Genesis, I guess. First mate, our vessel is at a standstill.
Okay. So
Let us discuss.
we're hitting the
rest of
brakes.
the party.
We're hitting the brakes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just so I know for sure.
Yes, we're not in motion. Haven't been since a little while ago.
Okay. No worries.
okay. So just stand here then? Cool.
Oh, that means you could feasibly come
You can
downstairs.
come down too.
There is a very large anchoring system if you want to do a full stop.
Might be a good idea.
Okay.
Right next to where we just escaped the clawing hands and stuff.
Given the condition, that'd be out of character. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright.
Yeah, you guys aren't even aware that happened.
Yeah,
no,
I
we
know.
just knew it was
I know.
time to get away from the
I'm
train.
just asking.
Yeah.
I'm just asking so I can get the progression of events in my head. Like, help me, claw, scratch, Walking Dead. Oh, we're clear? Cool. Let's take a break.
We made it out of the current.
Hey, I mean, if it works.
If it works.
All right. Yeah. Go
Let's
ahead.
go.
Go ahead and move your tokens to wherever you are.
Beautiful.
I think I'll stand here for a minute.
It's fine.
So,
A
Yes.
series of nautical noises run through my head.
Okay. What was that, Slaughter?
so Satra getting done cooking here.
Yeah, you're wrapping up about
Goes
now.
over to the tube system, pulls her glaive out, sets it down, takes the bow from her fiddle, and inserts it in the triangular shaped hole in the glaive blade, and starts ringing it, and begins tapping out a song called Dinner Bell.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'll begin salivating.
Yes. Yes. The dinner bell has rung. Is everyone going to adjourn to the mess hall? That might be a good spot for a meeting.
Wouldn't be too bad.
Saoirse will adjourn, but I mean, she did eat already.
Okay, that's fine. So everybody's adjourning. Wilhelm, are you adjourning?
I'll go very reluctantly because I don't
You nervous?
I don't know that this is a good safe spot. I mean, we just ran into whatever that was.
I know. You're never safe. It's okay.
Yeah, sure.
And
Yeah,
It's
just keep a
fine.
close
This is
eye on
fine.
the windows and look around, and this is fine. Peek in there and see what's what. If there's
Okay.
a possibility of grabbing the food and getting back up to the helm, then I'll do that.
You could.
Just to keep an eye on things.
Okay, are you going to join him?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and join him.
Okay, so let's see if we can just fit you guys all in the mess hall there. Oh yeah, zip, zip, zip. I love it.
All right.
So, there we go. Here, we'll bring Kaz up. Furnaces are plenty hot. So basically, everybody's up there. Slatra,
Yeah.
what are we serving?
So we're serving shepherd's pie.
Excellent choice. Excellent choice.
She brings out a large cast iron skillet topped with a browned mashed potato, but it smells of herbs and meat and vegetables. And there's definitely some gravy bubbling out from just around the edges of the potato.
Now I'm hungry. All right.
And she sets it down on the table and goes, "Hi, I'm Slatra. I don't think we've all properly met yet. Eat up."
That's a fair point. Everybody honor the offer?
It is beyond my capabilities,
This is true.
but he does respond. This appendage is listener. I and I are very impressed at your dexterity.
Thank you.
And I believed that there would be much more turmoil in the lower decks while maneuvering.
It took a little bit of skill, but I'm used to the young ones running around when I'm cooking.
While they talk, I'm gonna find some water and then just like
So,
amble up and be like, yeah, nodding along, and then just hand it to listener.
Okay.
Thank you, first mate.
Aye, aye. Smiles for moonshine. This is so wholesome.
It
Thank
is.
you.
This is actually very nice.
yeah.
So, everybody sits down, I assume, at the table.
Yep.
Okay.
For like 5 minutes, maybe, if that, because I'm like constantly looking over my shoulder, like.
Listener's not much of a sitting sort, but he stands in a sort of comfortable place.
Yeah, it was normal.
And Saoirse probably will grab a bite of shepherd's pie. I assume this is like a, home specialty
Yeah.
for us. So
Yeah, this would be definitely right along that line.
she's not hungry, but she will grab a bite.
So, Slaughter, give me a survival roll.
Okay. Where'd my sheet go? Here we go. Boop. Why are you not booping? Okay, give me 1 second.
No worries.
There it is. Okay.
Excellent. All right, so it's actually really nice. It's very flavorful. One of the things about Cairne is, unless somebody takes special effort, most of the food you get is fairly bland generally. The fact that this has actually been cooked using herbs and seasonings, it's a treat. It's a rare treat that you don't see very often outside of the larger cities. So yeah, anybody who needs it, if you eat your full meal, you will gain 1 hit point back.
Oh yeah.
Alright. So I made dinner tonight as kind of a tradition for my sect. When somebody new comes along, we like to get to know them. In this case, I'm the new one. But I'd very much like to get to know everybody here before I decide to not lock myself in a room somewhere far away from all of you.
Fair.
So, I'd like to start with the one I'm most curious about. The Imperialist.
That's you,
Tell me
Wilhelm.
exactly how you came to help a cessation.
I am Wilhelm. It's
Mhm.
a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
We'll see.
I
Oh, come on.
Everyone is equal in my eyes, and I help who needs help. That is what I believe in.
Hmm.
To cut through this sort of Cold War-esque vibe that we got going on here with the Imperialist, if I'm allowed, I just kind of put out the vibe to the party of like that feeling of that collective intake of breath right before people start singing Auld Lang Syne at the end of the year. That's what I try to put out to everyone. Like
I believe
that whole let's go.
Flasho
we
shoots
got
you a
this."
look.
I believe that the words you're looking for, at least how I would best describe it on an emotional sense, if you're using your empathy, is hope. Like, hope in a positive light, hoping for good things to come. Would that be accurate?
I guess hoping for good things and celebrating that good things have happened. You
Okay.
know, when you're around friends and you're around people that you consider allies.
All right.
That
So,
vibe.
and are you actually using your empathy? Are you putting this out?
I mean, I don't know if I'm allowed to do that.
It's your ability. Yeah, of course you can.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Okay. Is anyone resisting these good feelings?
Yeah.
Acquaintance be forgot.
Yeah, it's not a negative thing. It doesn't feel like an attack or anything. It's just
No.
you have the
There's
right
suspicion,
to
and-
avoid it. Yeah. What's your
And-
save DC, Genesis?
Okay. It's 8 plus something. I wrote this down so I wouldn't have to do this.
8 plus.
Mm. Can you come back to me on that? Hang on.
Well, here I tell you what. Is it?
8 plus proficiency plus charisma.
Yeah.
8 plus proficiency, which is plus 3, plus charisma is plus 2, so that's 13. I think.
13. So yeah, give me a wisdom save.
Pretty sure you can.
Or no, it's an intelligence save. That's right for these abilities. Sorry.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, give me an intelligence save, Slatra. What was your DC?
13.
13. All right, she met it. It's nothing negative. Nothing negative happens. You kind of felt the read of the room felt like everybody just suddenly got really like positive and hopeful, like go get them, and you're just kind of like, whoa, cult vibe, you know?
Sorry, I come from a place where your people did nothing but murder and torment mine. You'll have to forgive me if it takes me a little bit to trust you, especially with a cessation daughter.
For all time.
I understand, and I do not hold it against you. I understand why you would have every reason not to trust me. I understand why you'd have every reason to hate me based on who I am. But I look
I don't
forward to
hate
the day
you.
that
I don't hate people out of hand.
that
I
is
know
a
that
good place to start.
There are chances that individuals can be different from the whole. but it's not
Nods.
common.
Stops nodding.
Okay.
Listener is attentive to this portion. He said, "Well, I thought that was your guys' whole thing, is that you're not part of the whole. Did I miss something?"
Says the one with the hive mind.
It's a different hole. I'll explain later.
So, no, that was very positive. And Slotcher, based upon what you're doing, give me an insight check.
Okay.
Because I imagine you're trying to read the boy.
Indeed.
You feel down in your core that he is being entirely honest with you. Looking around the room, you get the feeling that this isn't a motto. This is a tested statement of fact that he is offering you.
Okay. Well, I think that satisfies that. I can work with you, at the very least. You've gotten her this far. So, who would like to tell me about themselves next?
Uki's not going to say anything because she's just kind of quietly observing this character. Not quite. Uki herself is not yet trusting of Slatra. Because there's a lot of questions coming from Slatra and not a lot of information.
That's fair.
A lot of mistrust that she's hesitant at this time. Spent enough time with the party so far.
Is she going to
You'll
vote?
come?
Sorry, don't mean to interrupt. Are you going to vocalize any of this, or just is this internal dialogue?
I would say this is internal dialogue that she's not going to offer up information this time. She's just observing this interaction and kind of a bit intrigued, maybe a little puzzled by it, because the behavior of this of Cilatra is very different from what she's encountered so far from Cersei. From Cersei and
Saoirse.
Sorry. It's the wine.
It's all good.
It's
It's a weird name.
Cersei.
Yeah.
And even Genesis is very protective. So
Yeah. And just to help, I know there's a lot of weird, there's a lot of weird pronunciations in here. Saoirse and the Shanakesian for the race. But
Sorry about that.
no, don't apologize. They're weird, big Gaelic words. It's fine. Believe me, it's perfectly all right. But it's.
Well, now that I'm reading it, I can see that. But
believe me, it.
Saoirse, I knew.
Yeah, leave it to me. I use lots of weird big words from all over the place, so don't ever worry about mispronouncing things.
I hope so deep
Says
that
Art.
the final draft has a pronunciation key, because people who read this are gonna need that.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. I'm gonna put that in the notes. But anyway,
Well.
just to carry on. I'm sorry.
Nobody's gonna speak up. I guess I should talk about myself.
There you go.
yes,
I was gonna say one thing, just kind of to myself. You know, my Ventrite ancestors had a saying. 5 is hot. And you are sus.
5 is hot.
Why does everybody else have to say something about themselves, but you don't have to answer any questions?
Are you saying this out loud?
Yes.
Okay.
I never said I wasn't gonna answer questions. I just had some of my own.
But like, you over here with the imperialist agenda, like.
I'm sorry. Do you not understand what they did? Do you not understand how they've treated us?
Okay, let's go back 100 years. Let's
100
do
years,
that.
10
It'll be
years, 1
great.
year. Time doesn't mean anything when it comes to how much blood and pain has been inflicted.
So
Okay, so
I'm curious, if I may. Saoirse, watching this in back and forth take place, how are you feeling?
Saoirse is like, she wants to say something, but she's also like,
I don't know,
right now she's very nervous about speaking up still, because she's still not sure about Slatra, and while she's more confident, she's still finding her voice. So she's just kind of like uncomfortably like sitting back watching all this go down, just kind of letting Genesis like handle it.
I was just wondering, the statement about, oh hey, let's just go back 100 years, does that seem insensitive?
You can't treat somebody a certain way based on their entire ancestors' history of the decisions.
Why not they treat us that way?
You are a separate person. You are responsible for how you act. He's responsible for how he behaves, and he's helped keep her alive
and keep
her from being kidnapped.
You're lucky that I didn't just kill him on sight. Because that's what I've been trained to do.
Well, I'm glad for you and your personal growth and not immediately murdering another person.
Oh.
That's the only way I can say that.
Do you want to know more about me, or do you just want to accuse me of being a barbarian?
I just don't think that you give things foresight. You know? You don't have to come at him with the imperialist line, you know? Because he's not like that.
That's what he is.
Have you seen this dude the entire time that you've been with us traveling down here to this ship?
All of a day?
Yeah.
That's not enough.
I know. Like, but come on, try.
I'm trying. I made dinner. Are you really going to insult me when I am hosting you for dinner?
No.
So Genesis.
Oh, wow.
I
don't know if it's me or my character that's going off the rails.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. It's all roleplay.
Not sure who's failing.
It's all roleplay. No, I was gonna say though.
Yeah.
I want to remind Genesis of her impressions of Sugnak. Since you're going there.
Look, he's alive. I didn't poison him. I didn't cut off his head. And I am perfectly willing to work with him at this point.
Yay!
Like I said, he got her this far. So I'll tell you a little about me.
Yeah.
I'm a burnt crow, if that weren't obvious.
Vibe check.
I am from a specific sect.
Vibe check needs to happen now. Vibe.
What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to read her aura.
Are you okay? Well, do an insight with advantage.
Okay. Big money. No whammies. As indicated by the dice, a 23.
Not only is Slatra telling you the entire truth, you actually get the impression that she has never lied to you.
Oh. Yay!
Where I'm from, we're warriors first. And musicians second. We have a very particular job within the Crows. Something that I came here to do and have done successfully. I am standing here. I have made you dinner. We're talking. I've made contact with Saoirse. That's what I'm here for. And now, I plan to carry out the rest of my mission, which is to protect her until we get this whole thing sorted out. And if that means I have to be extra suspicious of somebody that I don't trust because of their past and the culture that they're from, that's just going to be how it is.
Hmm. I mean, okay.
Once again,
Like I said,
it's
you're
also
lucky I didn't do the thing I was told to do from a very young age.
Yeah. It,
also
And so Uki says, I understand. I understand as someone who has come from a military background who has been given a very specific order of rules.
Oh, honey, we're not a military background.
I am
Ah,
Uki. And I can say that I do understand your concern, and believe me, it took me several days of following this party and watching them and watching the dynamics to be sure whether I could trust them or not. And what I saw was a band of people from very different backgrounds coming together for one cause before I stepped into this. And so understand that yes, we are all come from very different backgrounds that both as our own personas and the history of our different races for the last 100 years. But I can assure you, I would not be here in this can underwater if it weren't for seeing the trust and the support that everyone has here. So I assure you that everyone is here out of their own benevolence to right the wrongs of a long, long pain and suffering this world has seen.
so
nods in respect. Nice.
Kaz will also back her up on that, verbalizing that they traveled together for a short while before. Also, lore, just on a lore basis, Slatra would know that Uki, as a Hyverstedian, has culturally no love for the Bect in general.
yeah.
So,
Okay. Well, that does sound good. Right. So then, I guess I want to know more about you, listener.
Listener is in your mind, obviously. No
Mhm.
noises come out. And because of this, you can have some assurance that anything you say to him is private, generally.
I like to speak out loud, even if we're having conversation in my head.
You're welcome to.
listeners just sliding into your DMs.
And it just lets everybody else know what's going on.
Of course. Let me see.
As
He
obviously,
tells you.
I like honesty and transparency.
You'll love a listener.
He tells you, I
As a
and
member of
I
the Bark Culture.
am an appendage of the Ogham. Often that is all that must be said. The travels of this appendage have been strange, though. There are no assurances I can offer you as to the group. In the Ohm's experience, dissent is rarely conquered by extending such affordances as trust. But we are here, all together, our little hive, far beneath the land that might keep any of us alive. You're certainly welcome to come along.
I don't think I have much of a choice at the moment.
Nowhere to really get off this ride.
Okay.
I have seen the mind of one of yours
Mm-hmm.
in Abattoir One burnt crow came, and one false crow.
Don't like the sound of that. Not you listening in, but the false crow part.
Yes.
So tell me, what do you think of the daughters?
The ways of the flesh are not well understood by I, though we are trying. I learned much of death. I learned much of death from the true crow.
Yeah, there's a lot of that in our life. But you know
There's
what?
much of it in this one's as well. It is my study, my purpose. I see them. The dead never leave this place. If ever you should wish to speak more, I are here.
I might actually like you a bit.
I knew you were good people, Moonshine.
Thank you. That's strangely different from the way you were treating me moments ago.
What do you
Listening has an
mean?
effect on people.
Well, yeah, and Genesis is an anarchist.
So why not tell me about yourself, Genesis?
All I was trying to say is that you don't have to come at William like he's the enemy, is all I'm saying.
Well, as far as I could tell from a distance, he is.
From a distance.
But that's enough about my secrets. What about your secrets?
Yeah.
My secrets. My secrets aren't... I don't have secrets.
Oh no, that was me talking to Genesis.
Oh.
Out of character. She's a little clandestine about that backstory, and I think you might get some out of her.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Let me steeple my fingers here.
Oh. Okay, how do we deal with micro expressions? Because I just, like, a flash of haunted just went across my face, if you noticed it.
It would be a perception check.
Yeah, go for it if you want.
Up to you.
Yeah.
I'd like to see if I can get a read on how Genesis is feeling when she was asked that too.
Do you want to go perception or insight with that if you're getting a read?
Insight.
Go for insight.
Let's get that Shawnakesian advantage.
Yeah.
Plus, I think it makes sense here. Saoirse's close enough to Genesis that she would have insight into her little, like, tiny facial expressions and things. And she's keeping an eye on Genesis.
Yeah, you guys are close, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I wanted to see if Wilhelm picked up on it too.
Yeah, Wilhelm did.
Test this?
Wilhelm picked up on it. He saw the discomfort, emotional discomfort. Saoirse, you know, like, she just like turtled at the mention of it, like withdrew for a moment there. You can feel it. Slatra, you're not really. You're having a hard time reading Genesis. Genesis is an enigma. Well, Genesis, are you going to share? Steepled fingers. Everybody's looking at you.
Well,
Is Genesis
I don't
flustered?
know. I don't really have that much to say. I don't know.
Genesis is flustered.
Knowing what I'm not saying is like I don't think you just come out and like start talking about it.
It depends on you. It's your character. Although I am picturing Genesis being as flustered as you are right now, and it's working.
It is very funny.
I look down at the table so no one can see my eyes watering. I mean, I had a second earlier when she said she's used to kids running around where I had a little bit of a pang.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been quiet long enough.
Well, here's the
Slatra's
thing.
Gonna try and
Here's the thing.
dissuade this out of her a little bit.
Well, real quick. Here's the thing, Genesis. There are 2 other empaths in the room. If you're feeling that emotional, they're gonna pick up on it, which you probably would be, and that's fine. They're not. It's not anything like extra ability wise. They're just going to pick up on the subtlety of the fact that you are very upset. And that will be Saoirse and Slatra will definitely pick up on the fact that you are getting emotionally overcome right now at the thought of sharing. So yeah, you can go on from there. I just wanted to put that out there.
Okay. Come on. First you came at me about not answering questions. What about you?
What do I contest this with?
Well, nobody's trying. Oh, are you trying to persuade?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well.
Didn't do a very good job of it.
Go ahead, make your roll.
What do I roll for this? Is it?
Well, are you resisting it?
Yes.
Go ahead, give it wisdom. We'll give you a wisdom save to resist it. If you can contest that 11, you'll win. I can feel the nerves.
Yes. Oh, okay. All right. Put a lid on it. Rein it in.
All right. So she just clams up even more, staring at the table, picking at a spot that's not there.
Too bad. Somebody who.
Yeah, you don't asking me any questions. So what do you expect me to answer?
I just want to know about you. Tell me about your past, a little about who you are. You know me, I'm a musician and a killer.
I am.
Saoirse winces at that.
I don't. I notably don't wince. Because I guess, yeah. I'm a mentrite, I'm a mentalist. I got roped into this by Wilhelm, sort of. The whole somnambulist thingy. It's Saoirse's mission, so hopefully I can be there to help her. So I think that's something we have in common, that we want to get her through this alive and get the prophecy fulfilled and stuff. Maybe.
That's true.
My history with the burnt crows is not good, as you heard from listener, because one of them, the false one, held a knife to Saoirse's throat and tried to kidnap her.
Well, if she's a false crow, then she wasn't a burnt crow, was she?
Wasn't it a he out of character?
Genesis
It was
technically.
a dude.
Yeah.
Genesis technically it was both of them that tried to kidnap me.
Right. So even if it was one false member, the real one still went along with the plan. So I don't know if he was just misguided or what was going on in your organization, but that's my history, my knowledge of your group. So I need to grow past that, is all I'm saying.
Those two were not from my sect.
Well, it's good to hear.
The daughters of the Morgan.
maybe this is something else entirely. Then this is good.
There were some local pros.
Okay, cool.
But
Yeah, so that's my
I
knowledge.
can
So,
understand why they would want to kidnap her.
Can you? Anxiety
Eh?
mounts.
I mean, originally that was my mission, to bring her back to the daughters. But no.
And you were going to do that without asking me first.
No.
Because I would not have agreed to it.
Consent is key, gamers.
Because
Consent is key.
That was a problem for me when they told me to do it. I take care of the children back at home. I don't like the idea of forcing one to do anything. And Uki here wasn't the only one observing you. So I didn't feel like I needed to take her from you. But Wilhelm did concern me.
That's fair. I guess that's fair.
No, Saoirse, I'm not gonna kidnap you. I'm not gonna force you to go anywhere that you don't want to go. But I am gonna protect you.
Rishi's dagger. We're good.
So, I guess it feels like the mood is lightening. Am I correct?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, the mood's lightening.
No, that's
Now
good.
that we're away from my backstory, because I don't even, out of character, know how to crack that egg. At all. At all.
That's such a good egg to crack.
Oh, I have no idea. I don't know how to get into that. You don't just open up and start talking. Cool.
It'll happen. One of these days you'll fail that roll.
One of these.
What do you mean?
Oh. Yeah, Slatra's not going to be satisfied with just not knowing at this point.
Yeah, but I will say this: it's all good.
Yeah.
And I won't force you to tell your backstory. They just might get a little clip here and there of things that might lead to it. So, is there any more exposition you guys want to do? Which I'm okay with it. You know, I don't mind roleplay. I love character development, but
Uki's just going to kind of, while all this is going on, she's just going to get a second bowl, a second helping.
Nice.
And it goes,
The shepherd's pies go.
well, I do.
I'm glad.
I appreciate this is sustenance unlike anything we've had for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna try to slip out the door. Just.
Okay.
I only had some, and I felt that I should at least honor my tradition and make dinner. So,
That's very good.
in continuing with my traditions, allow me to play a song.
Well, I will say that I don't appreciate saying that I need to be protected. Now, while we all could use a little bit of help now, like here and there, obviously, like entire world needs our help now, but in this group we protect each other. It's not just, we all have agency here, including me. I'm not as helpless as I appear. And she just kind of crosses her arms and pouts a bit.
Child, I never thought you were helpless. You're a Shanakesian. We're not helpless. We're strong. Our scars prove that.
Well, your use of language saying that you want to protect me certainly didn't give me that impression, but alright.
I want to protect you like I protect any child.
I'm 27, but alright.
She's not even small. She's enormous.
She's 6'2".
Yeah.
She's just got a baby face, you know?
A baby
Just
face.
one of those faces.
She's,
So yeah.
She's just got the country mouse spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you're reading my biography right now.
Latra just smiles a bit, sits back, pulls up the fiddle, and plays an empathic performance that
Nice.
is kind of a feeling of hearth and home.
Is this going to be a traditional song?
Yes.
Okay. So, Saoirse, you'll most likely recognize it then.
Is it giving in, perchance?
Is it?
I'm not entirely sure. Let's see. Yeah.
Oh, well. Excellent.
Wait. Well, Saoirse is just going to kind of sit there, and as Slatra is playing, you'll kind of hear her under her breath, just kind of not even realizing what she's doing because she's still a little, like, uncomfortable, but she can't help but sing along anyway, so you hear her go. But you hear her go, regardless. Slowly slipping in to our intricate, forbidden fantasy. Savoring your skin means more than anything I'll ever do or say. And so it seems we're sinking into our own elusive dreams. It seems we're not thinking, we don't need to be. We're giving in. We're giving in. We're giving in. We're giving in. Yeah.
Bravo.
Why did I leave? Why did I leave? Oh, I missed it. Sorry. I'm so angry.
Wasn't my best, but I need
No.
some water, and that wasn't like my best breath support, but
That was
I
perfect.
did it.
That's perfect.
Other me is crying
done.
right now, but out of character applause. Oh my goodness.
That's brilliant.
Yes.
Brilliant. So,
Practice pays off. at
Somewhere in
last.
a distant universe, the master sheds the single tear.
I
I don't know
I,
why I'm crying. I don't know what's going on.
I will say this is the first duet, really. First official duet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Didn't they chime in together on with the other?
They kind of did, but that was more of a distant, at odds type thing. This is the first time they've been sitting in the same space playing the same song together.
Uki says, "Oh, I must have some coal dust in my eye."
A beautiful performance.
And she
That was-
says,
So
she
mad.
said, yes, I have to say, we protect one another, but we are stronger together. Because there have been times where her song has emboldened me to be a stronger fighter, and we are a unit. We are all here we bring our strengths and we build each other up. And then Uki steps back, which is the most Uki has probably said in one sitting about the party.
Yeah. Very much.
That was
She's
lovely,
moved
sir.
by,
Thank you.
by the song to say that.
Nice. Inspiration.
Thank you, Uki.
Very nice.
starting to feel like we are a unit.
There we go. I do love some cohesion. So, I have to add, listener, did you get my message?
I did, and it was more important to allow this to play out for a moment.
Oh yeah, no worries. I just wanted to make sure you got it.
Oh, I did. But
All
I
right.
would say, can we take our union break before we address that?
I think that would be a lovely time to do it after such a tremendous exposition. Which I'm glad that we're streaming. So. Yeah, so we're gonna take a quick break, ladies and gentlemen. Let you stew on that lovely performance for a moment. We will be back shortly. See you in a moment. Ooh, I clicked on the right one. I almost clicked on the wrong backdrop. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Here we are. It has been a lovely little break. We've had some secret discussions that I'm afraid you're going to have to subscribe to our premium account to be privy to. Yes, we are back, though. And I believe things are smoothing over, winding down from the dinner a bit.
Yeah.
I know listener had something I think he wanted to discuss. Is that right? Or no?
Listener was gonna bring up after the song had finished, everybody had eaten. With his serial multicast, just so everybody kind of gets the same message at basically the same time.
Okay.
There is a trouble related to our turning back moment ago.
What a trouble.
Do they still learn now of the creatures that used to inhabit this particular land, this right here, the great black dragons?
That does not sound good.
Do a quick knowledge check.
Yeah.
Yeah, this would be a history check. Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
Nope. Nope.
Whoop. Accidentally had advantage on, but yeah.
Black
Yeah.
dragons. That does sound like a fantastic story and song.
Nobody else really pulling up on it. Nope.
Luck point.
You got a luck point for that? What?
Wow.
Yeah, I want to know what the black dragons are.
He was
So
about to
cool.
tell you.
It's all good.
I'm gonna roll for Golden Knight. Oh, there we go, 17. Yeah.
Uki and Genesis, you actually have heard the old stories of the two dragons, the mates, the mated pair that once inhabited this area and had a clutch supposed horde as well.
All right.
Well,
So
that
to... Go on.
well, the dragons were. I'm a little confused. The dragons were where?
Here. Over there. Actually.
Underwater?
Now, yes.
Oh. And so maybe Uki would know. I mean, wouldn't dragons be something that were fabled to have been in the mountains at some point as well?
Well, now, I tell you, give me a nature check.
I will do that.
I mean, we saw the wing down here. It was
Mm-hmm.
pretty insane.
You don't really know much about the creatures themselves. It is a little confusing that they would be this far down, but especially with this much liquid around. But then you're not sure how long this liquid has been here either. It's been 100 years since the blight. Anyone else wanting to make a nature check, you're welcome to. As far as the knowledge of what they are, it's up to you.
Sure. Let's see. That's roll.
You don't really know much about that type of creature specifically. Same.
Listener goes on. Whatever they once were, they were mighty, very powerful, very wise, even the vicious ones. At least as far as I have been able to study them. They are all long dead here, including this one, though like so many other creatures in this land, it has not left. The bones are still inhabited by its spirit, and it still calls to me across the void. It desires help.
What kind of help?
Do you ever think maybe we've been sitting here too long?
I mean,
We've hardly arrived.
Meanwhile, the lower
how are we
levels.
supposed to help
Yeah,
a dead thing?
may I take some of this down to Cass and let him eat?
Oh, Kaz is with you. He came up.
Yeah, he came up.
Okay, he was coming out. Okay.
Listener continues to explain. It must be quite awful to be down here, tied to your ancient bones, pulled into a sucking maw in the floor of dead ocean. But history has these creatures as being quite cruel and clever.
So
It says evil as well, but evil is not something the Ogham know well.
we should go.
No, you're fine. This is fine. It's fine.
We should really get out of here because
Can we help them?
It is not
we
right,
should go.
but the creature is vaster still than this craft, and even turning it away from the current that has pulled the dragon in, I am surprised that the vessel managed to get to here.
We really should.
There's always
Listener, there was a lot that was going on down here that you didn't witness upstairs. One of the windows of the ORT has a crack in it now, and I was down there in the boiler room I was down there in the furnace with Wilhelm and Kaz and Uki because I didn't want to be alone while all of this was going on, and I was scared. But
We should really
that
go.
so that furnace was I witnessed it. It was overheating. It held up, but it
We should
definitely
go.
felt like the craft was being pushed to its limits. I wouldn't risk it.
There's
We
always
need
the
to get out
diving
of here.
suits.
We need
I
to
don't
get.
even know how we would help such a creature.
We really need to get out of here.
Because
I'm gonna be with
that was
Genesis on
quite
this.
the force.
We need to. Why are we still here? We need to get out of here.
There's always the diving suits.
No,
Oh, that sounds like a bad
What?
idea.
because one thing that listener didn't tell you is that they're amphibious. We should go.
Listener concludes, I do not wish to leave the dead alone here at the bottom of the sea, but I, the Ogham, may not be qualified to judge the will of such a creature.
So can we go? Can we go?
I don't think I would be qualified either, listener, but I don't think it's a good idea to try and help it. How would we even help in this instance, considering the force that pulled it and was pulling us down with it? It wouldn't be safe.
Well,
Let's get out of here.
this appendage could attempt to host the spirit of the dragon, but I believe that it would lead to this appendage's dissolution.
We should really go.
I think we should try and find other passage out of here.
Start turning it into a sea shanty. We
Church
should
listener
go.
actually pings the collective for a formal opinion.
We need to get out of here.
On
On
pulling
on
it
the
in.
proper conduct. No, not for pulling it in. That what little ego he has developed is sufficient to tell that he should not attempt to host a creature that predates his species by thousands of years. But on what to do about this dragon would be an invaluable source of knowledge, and it is just kind of sitting down here, but there seems little to do.
Uki just kind of looks around and says, you know, the last time that Genesis said, we need to go, we should have gone. I think it's best we just keep moving on and get out, because I'd like to find dry land again soon.
The longer we stay down here, the worse it is for us. We don't need to waste any time and put ourselves in any sort of unnecessary risk.
Anybody looking at me right now can like tell that I'm just like.
These opinions are noted and valuable, but Church, what is the collective thing?
Oh, I sent you a message.
Oh, let me go check. Yes, of course.
Uki's survival instincts, especially with how, you know, she's definitely a bit worse for the wear, is let's keep moving and get the heck out of here.
Listener says, 1 moment. We shall collect more information. And then he kind of looks up towards the ceiling a little bit, and Church, he will reach out to the dragon and say, what do you desire?
Would you like me to speak openly?
You may, of course.
Okay. So you reach out, you make the connection. It's powerful. This is a powerful presence. It's overwhelming a little bit. Not enough to hurt you or damage you or take over or anything, but it is powerful. You can sense it. The voice that you get back is a definitively female one. Still the dark, growling, deep voice. What are you saying?
I do ask that literally. It's been asking for help. What do you desire?
Please, my mate is trapped, and I've been holding on to him for so long. I don't know if he's okay. Our whole clutch got pulled down the hole. They're all gone. It's just me and him. He's all I have left. Please, can you help me?
How could your mate be saved? We are so small, you see.
Can you help me? I'll give you anything you ask. I'll give you my entire horde. Just, please. Please help me.
Listener says, show me where you are and where you are holding. And he kind of requests a visual, a mental image from the dragon.
Okay. You are shown an image of and in from this creature's perspective, there is no bone. You get the impression this creature is not entirely aware that it's dead. It is laid out on this enormous cavern floor with one arm and talon reached into a fissure, gripping on to its mate's hand, claw, and just resisting the pull downward as hard as she can. Meanwhile, just hundreds of these smaller humanoid creatures are running at her, trying to bite at her and chew at her and gnaw on her flesh. She's thrashing and flailing about, watching her eggs be taken from the nest and devoured one by these creatures as she's flailing and trying to strike them away, and to no avail. You just feel this overwhelming sense of pure and unadulterated sadness, which is a shock. You're not used to these types of feelings, but this is something you've never even sensed from your companions. It's somehow deeper and stronger and ancient. It's powerful. But you see the desperation.
Well, listener doesn't exactly expect that her mate would still be a living dragon. Can he sense a presence besides this dragon?
No.
I imagine it would be a mighty spiritual force.
Similar to hers.
Yeah. Does there seem to be anything here besides, say, her and the seething horde of disturbing, void-touched, square-toothed sons of bitches?
Very faintly you can feel the spiritual presence of her young, but they never hatched, so they're wisps at best.
Mm-hmm.
You do not sense her mate.
I'm not anywhere in
Curious.
this, right?
Curious.
No, he's kind of trancing out in a spiritual realm right now.
Yeah, he's just looking up at the ceiling.
I will say,
Being anxious.
I will say that you'll get a sense of that overwhelming sense of sadness when it hits him.
Me?
Yeah, you'll feel that.
Oh yeah, he's channeling the sorrow of an elder dragon. That's gonna have some potency.
Yeah.
Do I feel like why?
No, but it's overwhelming. This is like an empathic punch in the face.
Would us empaths feel it?
Yeah, you guys would probably get a touch of it too, honestly. On a lesser scale, but still, something just washed over the room, basically. You know, it's something to do with whatever listener's doing right now.
Listener is a bit of a sucker for a sob story. He's so young, you know. It's all still pretty raw to him.
Fair.
Having received this image, when he begins to communicate with the dragon again, he will say, I and I are speakers to the dead. Do you know this?
Are you a necromancer?
No. No, we cannot control them. Only see them, speak to them.
Well, then, I don't see how this helps.
I was sad anyway. This is fun.
This is going to be tricky for him to explain. I mean, he's on a quest to understand death in the first place. So explaining it to somebody else might be a little hard, but he is going to make an attempt.
Okay.
You have been down here in the dark of the sea for many, many years. My people rose in the time it has taken you to hold here over this gap. Your flesh is gone, your spirit clings.
What are you saying?
I and I may be able to help you,
Please.
but we cannot return the dead. Only those parts of them that remain.
Who is dead?
Well, in this place many. But let me confer. I must speak with my own here.
Please hurry. I don't know how much longer I can hold on.
He doesn't say it, but he believes that she probably has a bit left in her. This is a remarkable endurance challenge. All right, listeners' attention returns to the deck, to the crew.
Are we gonna die?
He says, "The dragon holds over a vast gap in the ocean floor, supporting perhaps merely the mortal remains of its mate, as I cannot sense beyond her power another spirit. It is so sad. I would not have thought that one could feel such a way, but it must have taken so many years.
So what can we do?
I could continue speaking, persuade her, perhaps, that she is dead, her mate is dead, and all that they have ever known is dead. I am unsure how that would go.
I mean, how would you feel if somebody told you you were dead?
Fair point.
Confused. Mainly confused.
I'm a little confused with what was just said earlier.
Which part?
That she watched the horde take her clutch one by one, and it's just her.
Yeah.
I don't know if that means they're all gone.
Her clutch?
Right.
Yeah, her clutch is gone.
So
yeah, they're certainly dead.
Follow that up with, "I'll give you anything, just help me."
Well, she doesn't want her clutch back. She wants us to lift her mate from the pit, and
but
her
what
mate.
is she saying that she would give us?
Her hoard. The clutch was the eggs. The hoard is a dragon's hoard.
That just follows them around. This is squad.
No, horde, like...
No, H-O-A-R-D. All of their worldly possessions, of which there would be many.
Treasure.
I thought it was like a host of like zombies of the apocalypse.
No, a dragon horde.
She definitely does have that too, though.
Okay, never mind.
Gold.
May not be hers to give away.
Instructions unclear. Became a zombie.
Yeah.
No, any dragon hoarders.
Yeah, dragon
I'm
hoarders.
I'm so sorry.
You're good. You're good.
All right. So.
Could.
What?
You're putting this out there to the whole team, right?
Could it be pulled from the pit?
What can we do to do that?
This vessel has done well so far. Perhaps the chain of the anchor?
I don't know. I don't trust it. I watched, like I said, I watched how that forge downstairs nearly exploded.
Kaz will back you up on that too. He had it pushed to its limits.
It may spell our deaths. This sounds like something much heavier than what we just got out of, and even then the submarine almost collapsed. Or the Orty. The Orty almost collapsed then.
How would we try to do this? What's the plan?
I'm not sure this is a good idea.
That's fair.
You can't just leave.
We can't?
No.
Listener, just try to convince her that she's dead. It's really our best option. None of this is a good idea.
I, the player, am torn between desires here.
I'm not. Let's go! Get that anvil down there, or the anchor, or whatever. Just drop it. Let's go. 100%.
We're
Let's do
sitting
this.
pretty nearby it, but what did we say those hexes were across, Church?
About a kilometer.
It ain't gonna reach. I don't believe we have 6 kilometers of chain.
Oh.
No.
So any activity we conduct in the vortex.
Oh.
Like I said, there's always the diving suits.
There are indeed the diving suits.
You want
And
to go out there.
that is an option. Listener is a special case for these things. He doesn't need air, and hostile undead are not hostile to him.
This is true.
That doesn't rule out every danger of the ocean floor, but some. Only problem is that current is enough to pull along the Orti while it is firmly rooted to the floor.
I'd like to make a nature check to see how much Slatra knows about the ocean in general.
Okay. What are you trying to find out about? That's a decent roll.
Basically depth and pressure.
Okay. How that works.
Yeah.
Down here, the pressure's probably enough that it won't necessarily crush you. We're not that deep, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cavern. There's always the danger of moving water at that speeds.
Listener, it's really not safe for us to go out there with you. I mean, we could get swept away, if not pulled into the vortex itself.
I wonder what Uki
And then
and Wilhelm think.
Brushed.
This is quite fair.
What are they doing?
Uki and Wilhelm?
Right. I mean,
Are you asking?
hey guys.
Uki at this point is still feeling that it may be in the best interest of the party to keep moving along this passage, because if we're concerned about the boiler or whatever, if we're worried about the ship exploding, that we should be perhaps taking care of ourselves first and foremost. So Uki is kind of wanting to keep us moving along. Still in agreement with what Genesis was saying earlier.
That's fair.
What about you, Wilhelm?
As for me, I want to help them because they need help, but I don't know how, and I'm trying to think how we could.
3 no's and 2 yeses.
Yes.
Is that everyone's
That's where we're
vote?
at.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait. Kaz didn't say a vote.
Yeah.
I don't know which way he'd vote, to be honest, so I'm just gonna leave that there.
He abstains.
He abstains.
Yes, because Uki's kind of claustrophobia for being inside this submersible has not really lessened, completely. I mean, it hasn't lessened all that much,
So,
especially at
sorry.
caustic water.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, no worries.
So, that's 3 no's and 2 yeses? Is that what I heard?
And Given that, listener is actually formulating a plan that does not involve the travel.
Okay. So what are we doing then? What's the plan?
He says to Genesis specifically, "Will you help me?"
Yes. With what?
I know death well. I know the living less so. The emotions of this creature are too vast. It is beyond me. But if you helped me, perhaps we cannot bring it back to life by any means, but we could convince it to move on.
Okay. I don't know, like, I don't know how much of this I know, you know? I know that there's sadness, but I don't know why.
He explained it's been holding on to the corpse, most likely, of its mate down a pit for a couple hundred years? What was it, 200 since the Blight, 100 since the Arendelle?
About, yeah.
Okay, let's have that haunted expression back again.
Yeah, it's been dead the whole time and has not yet acknowledged that all of its children are dead. Its mate, given that it didn't have a spiritual presence listener could detect, may well have died before the Blight, and its spirit could well have passed on to wherever dragons go.
Okay. Okay.
So, oh, Genesis is trying.
No, that's just for me to pull it together. We're good, I think. I think?
Maybe. It's very secondhand sadness. Alright, so...
I mean, no, but yes.
No, but yes. But no.
No, no.
It's not exactly just secondhand sadness that I'm rolling about, but we'll get there.
You know what?
Church, I'm gonna explain the plan to you.
Okay.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna put in a special request.
Okay. What we got?
Listener's plan. He is going to open up functionally a very mild mind meld with Genesis.
Okay.
Let's go!
To rely upon her empathic talents in the next conversation with the dragon spirit.
Okay.
Using this, he will attempt to persuade it that it is dead, that it might be best to stop fighting a battle from a few hundred years ago and begin making peace with its new existence.
Okay.
That will be quite a challenge.
So we need...
We need a lot, but my special request... My brain's probably not going to be together enough to either roleplay that or make good decisions in it. How's everybody feeling on a slightly early night?
I'm down. I'm actually really tired tonight.
I'm okay with it if you guys are. It's up to you. I know tonight's been emotionally taxing.
Yeah.
I mean, I can go, but I want to kind of figure out what the ramifications are as far as, like, how does that empathic link work?
So what's going to have to happen is we're going to have to rely... You're going to have to rely on listener to communicate with the dragon. But you're going to be piggybacking telepathically with an open raw nerve of empathy basically going into it. You're going to get the full brunt of that emotional kickback. Listener can deal with it because he's not empathetic, really.
He doesn't have many of those yet.
You, on the other hand, this is going to be like pulling a tooth and slapping the nerve around a little bit.
Ow!
Yeah. You don't
Could
know
the
how.
other empaths help out?
Well, this is a little more direct. You could offer empathetic assistance through music somehow if you have the ability.
Yeah, the trick here is that she's an empath and a telepath.
Yeah.
Right.
Just as
I
her class is a mentalist.
Right.
But you don't know how this thing's gonna react to figuring out it's dead if you can convince it.
Okay, hang on. I'm an empath and a telepath, and I just got telepathy.
Yeah.
Could I choose to loop them in?
I mean, feasibly, technically, yeah. I mean, that's
Could she use her telepathy to transmit our music?
possible as well, yeah.
I'm wondering if playing a dirge for this dragon.
That's an interesting thing. I will say the effects of your music as a musician are reliant upon the vibrational aural transmission. AURAL, by the way. Aural. So they are actually a direct effect, and I think some of the descriptions actually say that it is a direct effect of the vibrations caused by the music. If it is a direct empathetic effect, then potentially that could work. But if it's one that affects just the actual vibrational state of sound through the air, not so much. Although you could still use it to affect them in a beneficial way, the two of them.
Yeah. You could always inspire them.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's an interesting question. I hadn't.
Drop an airworm on the dragon.
Yeah, because that's something I hadn't considered is the telepathic transmission of musicians' music. That's something I'll have to really ponder. It's interesting.
I think there would technically be precedent for it because a literal dead man, I think, hit me with the
Airworm.
Yeah,
an airworm.
No, the airworm would work because of the nature of the airworm. It's literally getting a song stuck in somebody's head.
Yeah, I think the big question here is, would the dragon be able to hear us?
Telepathically, for the airworm, yeah, I would allow it.
Okay.
All right. I'm very excited to rig this together. This is going to be pushing a few mechanics in a way you did not intend.
I did, and I love that, though. That this is brilliant. I'm loving it. I'm loving the direction it's going. I'm bound and determined to get you guys out in the diving suits at some point.
I'm sure the time will come, but
I threw them in there for a reason.
Vortex doesn't seem like a good place for it.
Vortex
Yeah.
is especially a no.
No, we have a very good sense of caution as players.
Yes, yeah, you guys always are
Risk.
very smart. You always do play very smart. But yeah, if you guys want to call it here for the night, we can.
Works for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Works for
I
me
would-
too.
I would like to, I don't know if possible, request, fingers crossed, maybe, that maybe at the beginning of next session we can kind of iron out like what the empathic motions of letting go of your loved one would do to me in particular.
That's
A lot of
something.
this I haven't thought out.
No, that's something you and I can work out because
Oh man, that's going to be very interesting.
it's personal for your character, so we don't. I know you like to keep that close to the chest, so we don't have to let everyone in on that discussion if you don't want. Also, we'll work out the mechanical details over the course of the time between now and the next session through our Discord. That'll be something fun to explore and discuss, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'd be willing to help out with my own airworm, so it's like the dragon gets a double dose if it's like, we can help her out in this way.
Yeah, and I have been looking forward to you and Slatra working together.
Because seriously, she does want to help the dragon, but in this particular instance, what she's asking, it's too much. got the somnambulist prophecy ahead of her. She don't want to like take unnecessary risks.
That's fair. That's fair. And yeah, no, I'm curious to see how this is going to pan out. I mean, I kind of already know all the back end of this, so. But it'll all depend on your actions and how you handle, and of course some rolls as well. But yeah,
and
no.
Then this turns into a horror movie where we have a dragon-possessed listener wandering the halls.
I would lose that roll so bad. Oh my god.
Yeah, listener, you're possessed by a dragon. Try to kill your party, please.
Yes. So,
Emergency
just
meeting.
just to let everybody know how that would go. I would have to succeed on a charisma saving throw of 13 plus the number of hit die above my own that the dragon possesses. Or possessed at time of death. I have a feeling.
I'm not sure that would even be a possible roll. Nat 20 maybe.
I have a feeling that it had a lot of hit die.
Yeah, it did. But no, that listener I think was smart enough not to go there. And you handled it well. I know I've enticed you guys on some levels.
See, you only told listener about the horde, and he's listener. He didn't even mention it to the party, I don't think.
No. Which is probably a good thing.
It doesn't even register for him.
That might have turned a couple heads.
Not Saoirse. I'll just say that right now, not Saoirse.
Oh yeah, relics of hundreds of years ago. Who knows what could be down there?
She has sort of a single-minded purpose. Like, relics of the past interest her, but yeah, she's not a risk taker.
No, you're right to be. You guys have made it this far playing smart, so.
Yeah, but like she doesn't risk it for treasure. She's got a higher purpose in her mind.
And that's good. That's good.
Would have interested our Arcanist friend.
Yeah.
Back when she was still with us.
That's Well, no, I think the real enticement is not the treasure here. I think I've worked it out to where you feel guilty for leaving.
Oh, totally. Well, I'm not really sure listeners made it to the feeling guilty stage yet.
Yeah.
That's like, I don't know, 6, 7 years old. He's not there yet.
Not quite yet. But no, I'll be curious to see like where this leads you guys. I will.
I'm very excited.
We'll
perform an undersea exorcism.
I've got a little flowchart of possibilities here, so this should be interesting. But yeah, we will go ahead and call it for the night. Ladies and gentlemen who've joined us, thank you so much. It's been a very interesting one. We do hope you'll join us in 2 weeks for the continuation of the Cairne Legacy. Next week, at this time, we'll be kicking back off with Sigil Confidential, continuing our investigation of a serial killer on the streets of the epicenter of the multiverse, in our Detective Noir fantasy series. Monday, we're also returning to Beyond the Veil of Twilight, our Fae adventures. I've got some really fun stuff planned for you guys on that one. Definitely
boy.
Don't want to miss that. We're going into some deep lore. But yeah, I think next Friday we'll be returning with Jewel of the Avon, a Star Wars adventure with Lord of Chance running that session. And I believe that's it. I'm not missing anything, am I?
I think that's most of what we got going on.
Excellent.
You hit all the highlights.
Well, we're definitely rocking and rolling some Valheim. I know we have our own Brewheim server over here, our own BrewRP. If you're really nice and ask us politely and, I don't know, make us giggle, we could probably get you in there. Come join us on our Discord. But yeah, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, Yeah, Ginkgo, there's going to be loads of that going, especially with your character. Thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure. Thank you, and good night.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Good.
Good night.